Why, hello there, lovely listeners and viewers. You are back down the red rabbit hole. Where you been? We've just been here. And still here with us is author Bella Ellwood-Clayton. Bella, how's your week been down the rabbit hole?
Oh, I've been trapped here. I need to get out soon. I'm just
Oh no.
uh help
Well,
help
we
me,
need you for at
people.
least another 20 minutes because we promised an episode, didn't we?
No point calling for help. Nobody can hear you.
No,
It's all right. We soundproof the whole. That sounded really creepy. We haven't
that
really. We're
did,
not.
and kind of
That
rude.
sounded really creepy. We will let
Oh,
you out after the next episode. Okay.
We promise we will.
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know if I can trust you or not. We'll see.
But I'll give you scones to take with you, fresh baked scones and
They have been promised.
Yeah.
I'm
they
Where's
waiting.
have
the scones? Where's the
Mm.
scones? Where's the
cheese
pillow?
scones.
Where's the
Cheese
cross
scones are my
stitch?
favorites. I don't do cross stitch. That was you guys. You were
Oh,
thrusting that
I'm cross
upon me.
stitching, am
You were
I? Okay.
thrusting embroidery upon me like I was a cast member of Bridgerton. But we are here to talk about Bella's book, The Tradwife's Lies.
Yes.
Yes, which is
Yes.
out in March, and there are links down below if you want to pre-order it. And one of the things that we kind of hit upon that we wanted to really kind of discuss in this second one is all about how social media kind of integrates itself into the tradwife culture.
Yes. Um, well, in my book, I took it to the extreme. So the trad wife queen in this town, Elka, who's a German transplant, she has a system. She calls her trad wives the cherries because there's a big cherry festival. She's got a cherry perfume line, things like that. And she makes her cherries, her followers, on Instagram. And it can be cherries in the community, but also anyone that follows her is a cherry. They can put their little emoji when they're hashtagging her.
Mm.
She does check-ins. So I was kind of playing with tradwife plus cult in a community. So a whole community of tradwives and how they can control each other by things like a community of Instagram where there's requirements, how many times you post about a product, your Cherry Fit app, your weight gain or not gain,
Mm.
so things like that. So I was looking at what's already there with Instagram and ideas of perfection, and then just really taking it to the extreme to explore, how that might play out in a sort of more magnified tradwife culture.
Okay. So, Lisa, as a wife and mother, do you feel pressurized by social media to have a perfect life?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's it. Yeah, you do. You do. Or just to like this idea of achieving everything. You only ever see one little snippet of
Hmm.
something, but it does draw you in. And I think there's pressure anyway. I think there's the pressure you put on yourself to be a good, wife and mother and try and do the best you can. And what the content that you see online is, again, it's those two extremes, isn't it? You've either got the people who are just doing a really good job of it and showing how wonderfully you're doing it, and then you have the other extreme who are the anti showing how well you're doing it, that kind
Yeah.
of. And again, and in some ways you don't find the middle ground. I think maybe the middle ground's boring. So
Hmm.
yeah, my house isn't perfect, it's maybe a little bit messy at times, but it's definitely not the really awful places that sometimes people will put online. They're really, really messy houses. They're kind of clean it up sort of videos, and both extremes will also garner the kind of bad press as well. People, they want people in the comments saying, that's disgusting, and kind of because that's driving their algorithm, and they're driving them up the algorithm, isn't it? And getting more views for that video, the more
Yeah, and
shocking it
I think
is.
too, sorry, but I think it's true with the content that we like, that we really enjoy those extremes. But I think as someone that like we're all producing content as well. And I really quite like and find it interesting that there seems to be a real shift of trying to be more authentic online when you're building your brand. I've been talking on TV and radio for 20 years or whatever, and I used to more of like a public voice when I was speaking, and I would do myself up more and spend more time and all those types of things, which, for public speaking. And then this, I think the vibe that people want when they're following someone now generally is they do want to see who they are and they want to trust them and see more authenticity. So I know when I started, say, my TikTok, um, I was showing my son the videos, he's 17, that I was putting on. And he's like, no, 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 no. You're professional and stiff. They just talk and get to the point quickly and be yourself. And there's a mom at my elementary school who has now a gigantic, gigantic following, probably one of the biggest I know in our community. And she was started doing the most raw videos you've ever seen. And, nothing, we didn't know any of the types of intimate things that she was expressing or exploring. And it seemed kind of shocking and scandalous almost to see someone being so exposed and crying and talking about trauma that had occurred, or wearing, she was wearing like lingerie and going to the city downtown and doing really experimental things as well, and for body positivity. Um, so the trend is to be real and to show yourself at the
Mm.
same time as we're watching this other type of content. So it is quite interesting, don't you think? Like we're trying to be real right now and show who we really are.
Yeah. But I just kind of I do look at a lot of this real content on social media and think that's not real. Do you know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like I just it's like forced realism.
Yeah, right. Forced
And
realism.
you see
Hmm.
like these videos where they're like decorating their house for Christmas and they'll click their fingers and they've got a garland over their fireplace and they click them again and they've got their tree up and stuff. And it's like,
Yeah.
and to put it in terms of like being an author, that to me is just like if you click your fingers and you got a novel there, I'd be
Mm.
so miffed off to see that because it just completely negates the work and the effort that
Yes.
goes into it, and
Yes.
kind of just insults the person that would put the effort into doing something
Hmm.
like that. Because I think one of the worst industries to actually being is publishing, and I'm very honest in saying that because everyone's like, oh, being an author that must be great, but it's like, you really don't know, do you? And that's what the publishing industry kind of rolls along. It rolls along with people having this dream and thinking that we're all Jessica Fletcher on Murder She Wrote, and we're just
Absolutely.
going around the county solving murders or doing stuff or having these wonderful lives and going to awards and having our stuff on film and meeting stars. And it really is not like that at all. I think if we were to be real, most of the time I'd be doing posts with my head down, going, "Oh my God, did I write that? Why is this happening to me? Why is my deadline tomorrow?" And
Yes.
the actual stuff that we end up doing instead. But I can feel that. I mean, I've said it before. I'm not a wife and mother. I've not been in that position, but I can
Stop showing
understand.
off.
I'm sorry, but I can understand how frustrated someone who, especially if they have a career that they're trying to have it all, as they say.
Yes.
You cannot
Yes.
have it all, and I think it's at some point you have to kind of pick and choose your battles as to what you want in life and what you want to do well, and what you're willing to sacrifice to do well on those other things. I mean, I've said it before on this podcast that when I was writing my first book, Little Bones, my nieces and nephews called me antisocial because I I was hardly at any family events because I was too busy doing the
Yeah.
book. You have to
Yes.
sacrifice. You only have so much. Everybody has the same amount of minutes in a day, and you only have so much time to do what you want to do. And it's what you're willing to sacrifice to be able to, you know, live your dream and do what you want. Do you know what I
Hmm.
mean? And I think a lot of these social media accounts really just take the pee and just kind of spit all over people that do put in the effort and to click your fingers and just have something. It's absolutely
Or they
ridiculous.
present this idea that there isn't a whole team behind it. I mean, that's a whole industry in
Mm,
itself. I don't know if anyone's watched the Piper Rockell documentary about the kidfluencers,
mm.
and that all of that is set up. All of these influencers are meeting up, doing their collabs. There's a whole team. There's a
Mm.
massive team. There's somebody posting every video. So it's sort of built on this idea of what it originally was, which was people in their bedrooms producing content that then gets big. And I think that still happens. People start small and then it gets big, but then this idea that is presented that anyone can do it is not the reality of it. And then I think there's something that becomes like when you get big, when you get to the place that you become, really famous and you're producing all the videos and stuff, that there is that element of darkness to it. And cue enter Ruby Frankie and that particular story. So
Horribly
Bella,
wrong.
I know you don't know the Ruby Frankie
No,
story.
tell me, fill me in about this.
So Ruby Frankie and her husband started a YouTube channel originally, wasn't it? I can't remember exactly when it started, but it was a YouTube channel, and it
They're
was called
Mormons,
Eight
aren't they?
Passengers. Yeah, so they're a
Yeah,
Mormon family. They're a very kind of
traditional.
lovely image, traditional
Yeah.
Mormon family. So I think they'd
Oh, I
met
have seen that
early.
documentary. Yes, yes.
Yeah, yes,
Sure.
yeah. They met when they were young. They
Huh.
made all these beautiful babies, these beautiful blonde, lovely babies, and she was really sharing her brand of discipline and parenting and then later on they sort of get embroiled with this other
Like a
woman. What's her name, Nikki?
Oh, I knew you were going to ask me that. It's like
I don't
she's
remember her name
she's like a
either.
bit of a con woman, isn't
She well,
she?
she
She
yeah, she
pretends
is.
to
She
be a
sells herself as a
psychologist and
therapist, but
yeah.
she'd got herself into lots of trouble. I think she'd been struck off, or she'd had some sort of complaint against her for sharing client
Mm.
information. So she'd breached that contract of confidentiality with her clients, and but also the kind of what she was selling was
She's very
this.
manipulative, wasn't she? She'd get
Well,
into your
she'd say she was like a couples counselor, but then part of that would be, well, he'll have to move out now.
and I move
And
in.
with the
Oh, yeah.
Frankies, it came to this place where she moved in.
Mm.
And
That
eventually, and what that
she was really
documentary
convincing
opens
people,
with,
wasn't she? Mm.
yeah, yeah, that documentary opens with the really shocking image of her youngest son arriving at a house, and I think
Neighbour's
they've
house.
been living in her name will come to me in a minute, but they've been living in a house. He's run away. The what's really shocking about it is the man whose door he has knocked on his is kind of crying on his call to the police because he's so shocked at how this child
Mm.
looks and what's happened to them. And then it turns out that the youngest daughter is also in the house, and the police go and get her, and
And
they
locked in
have
the
all these
closet or
images
something, weren't
locked
they?
in the
Mm.
closet.
Oh,
They were
yeah,
made to
yeah.
jump up and down on trampolines for hours. They were tight. All sorts of awful things happened to these children, and and then everybody kind of looked back at the Eight Passengers content and went,
Mm.
oh, maybe we should have seen this the way they were talking about, because there's a whole thing about they made, I think it's their oldest son,
Yeah,
they
go to
he
like a
did
camp.
something wrong and they made him sleep on a beanbag for 6 months in the living room. They didn't let him use his
Right.
bed.
But he ended
Took
up in like
away.
a wayward camp, didn't he?
Yes,
Like Paris
yeah, and
Hilton.
they made him see the counselor as well, the
Mm.
counselor.
Mm.
And he was just being
um
like a normal teenage boy. There was nothing wrong with him.
Yeah, yeah. He was just, but people had signed up to this. They thought she was kind of this traditional Mormon wife, this traditional Mormon family. And people were kind of, you'd see if Ruby Frankie did that with her kids, well, maybe I'll try that with my kids.
I think you
You
should,
know,
Lisa. I
I'll...
think yours should be called Just About Holding It Together.
I've only got two passengers and I can't manage.
And no car. Two passengers, no car.
Yeah. Two passengers and no
And a
chance.
cat.
Yeah, two passengers and an elderly
An old
cat, and I
cat.
can't keep it all going. She was asleep in a big shopper bag earlier, and I was like, "Oh, quick, stay there! I'll get a video." And then she got up. The
Oh.
best, Bella, the best content that we've had is a video of my elderly cat. She was
Oh gosh,
asleep in the.
okay.
This is the video that we've had go viral.
Oh
She was
no,
asleep in the
really?
garden, and she hadn't come in for breakfast, and she's 20 years old. So I was genuinely a bit worried that I was going to go and find a stiff cat
Mm.
in the garden. So I go out and for some, yeah, of course, I'm a modern woman. I decided to film it. And I go, go, Lily, Lil, and I call her and she comes alive. But I think it's the little quaver in my voice of the genuinely,
Oh
it's
yeah.
gone 9 o'clock. There's no way this cat's not coming for her breakfast by 9 a.m. But she's fine. Spoiler alert, she's fine.
We call it
Um,
Schrodinger cat, don't we?
yeah,
Videos.
she,
Because is
yeah,
she
yeah.
alive? Is she dead? Nobody
Is she
knows
dead or
yet.
sleeping? Let's find out. Um, but yeah, the so Ruby Frankie was this, and I think they'd had some they hadn't been well received online all the time. They'd had some complaints and people
Mm,
saying things about them, but again, if anything, it just garnered more interest. I don't think I wouldn't have. Some of this content kind of transcends its little pockets of the world and the communities in which it exists because of that controversy that then prompts it and pumps it out to a more global, wider audience. Because I'm not going to watch it for the content. I'm going to watch it because someone's told me that it's controversial, and I'm going to go and
Exactly.
have to
yeah.
make my own opinion about that now.
And they were
Yeah.
like sponsored and stuff as well. They had like sponsored products. And I just don't understand. They're normal, if they're a normal family and normal people, yeah, they've got a big reach on social media, but that's all they have. You know, my head can't just get around that. I mean, Lisa, if you had a show as big as that, what do you think you'd be sponsored by?
Good
But
question.
I was going to be sponsored.
Hmm.
Oh, I don't
Cat
know, maybe.
food.
Yeah,
Food.
cat food. It would have to be, wouldn't it? That's what I'm going to get on board with, cat
Purina.
food. That's what happens to every influencer as well, isn't it? There'll be
It's
someone that I'll
corruption.
like, and then I'll think they're doing a normal video, and then and then the next thing you know, there'll be a product in it. It's like because one of my
Mm.
favorites is Merv the cat. Have you met Merv the cat? it
No.
he kind of talks, so
Oh
it's like a
gosh.
Siamese cat, but
Oh
it's
no.
clever editing, but it kind of goes no, and it likes and it,
Mm.
it likes the gardener who's called Charles, but they say Charles, and it sounds like the cat say he puts the thing on and it makes you think the cat's
Mm.
talking. It's quite, I mean, it's a very appealing cat, but the other day I was like, oh no, oh no, product placement. Oh, I just enjoy
Mm.
your funny videos. I don't want product placement in here.
Yeah, it just y- there's a couple like YouTube channels that I like to
Jodie
watch.
Hildebrand.
Oh, that's
Sorry,
the
I knew it'd come to
psychologist.
me. Yeah,
Mm.
got the yeah.
But it does put you off, and you see like all these, especially like the beauty ones, and they're touting like these peel off masks that you wear through the night, which never bloody stay on anyway. And you
That's a
just
woman who's
think,
tried.
yeah, and you just think, but you can't because your jaw naturally goes slack when you sleep, so it's gonna start peeling, and then if you start moving around on your pillow, it's coming off, and you end up looking like that you've been attacked by Hannibal Lecter by the time you've woken up. So it's not good. And I know the whole adage, the uglier you go to bed, the prettier you wake up. But still, I can't. And obviously, if you sleep with someone as well, you can't really do stuff like that. So
I
I don't
don't wake up pretty. That is,
know.
I'm far from pretty when I wake up. That is the furthest thing from what I am when I first wake up. Doesn't matter what products I've used or
I think
anything.
too with like the whole fame train, I'm imagining that for these people when they hit big time or they have, their following grows and grows, the dissonance between the videos of
Mm.
what they're presenting to what actual life is like, for all these stars
Mm,
would be more and more stark, and it would just result in mental health issues, which we do see so often. And thank goodness for reality TV shows because, you get firsthand insight into all of that.
Do you
Claim.
though on reality TV? Because most of that's
I
scripted as well.
Oh, well, I remember, so many years ago watching Real Housewives of Beverly Hills,
Oh
and one of the
no, that's the worst one. You can't.
husbands suicided. That, you can't script that like that
You
in
can't.
the news. No.
mm.
They had, yeah, but all the Beverly Hills ones were all actresses and models and things, and it's like, that's not, to me, I just got bored of them eventually because it's like,
Mm.
how many times can I watch you buy a handbag and then argue with your sister over it, or talk about like, going on holiday somewhere, but someone else has beat you to the punch and got a better holiday than you. And it's like, oh my God, how
Yeah.
vapid do you want to look?
Well, I actually
And
watch a lot of reality shows for plot ideas because my life is so in one home, being the trad wife of doing most of the domestic stuff. I've actually kind of quit cooking, which is another topic, but I used to cook for the kids all the time. And then my developmental editing business and my writing. So I'm always juggling. And I'm not living it that much, if you know what I mean. Like in my 20s and
Mm.
30s, I was living and out there and getting so many experiences and meeting all different types of people. So now if I watch like you know, Love After Lockup, I'm seeing these characters out of jail and they're, I'm studying what they're talking about. I'm writing down dialogue because, I don't have those phrases. So I really love reality TV, and just getting inside into sort of different cults or disability communities or, such a range of things. I also do a lot of research online too. Like a lot of my books are set, all my books are set in America. I'm in Australia right now, and I was raised in Canada. So, I can't afford right now to go off for 3 months and do a
Mm.
tour, say Alaska, where my next book is going to be set. So I'll be watching like videos of YouTubers walking around doing walking tours, and they just walk for like 2 hours around a town or something. And I'm just sitting there on my screen. So I do love reality shows and watching people that put a lot of content out about, a topic I'm interested in because it is an inside look that I can't, writers never could get otherwise, in the past. Like, how would I possibly know what it's like to say, you know, have your mom be a heroin addict and go in jail 8 times in your from the age of say 16 to 30 or something. I don't have that firsthand experience.
Have
Do
you
you? Do
watched that
you?
show, Australian show, You Can't Ask That?
Remind me, and I
So they
may.
ask questions, they get different communities come and they ask them questions and
Oh
they
yes,
ask the kind of
my
the
daughter
things that
showed me
you
that one.
can't
Yeah,
ask.
yeah, very
That, yeah,
interesting.
I mean, if you want to learn about different
Yes,
people's lives, that's an
exactly.
incredible series. I do think that's absolutely fascinating. They had one about kind of the carnies. And they were
Totally.
talking about their experiences and the image of them. And then they had my favorite one with people with hearing impairments and people who are deaf. And he was talking about like how he says to get into the club, he'll sort of go, well, I can't hear it anyway, so let me in for free. Like, he go, yeah. And he knew exactly, he was like, yeah, why not? So
That's
yeah,
the
that
exactly,
is an
yeah,
insight.
exactly what you're talking about. That moment, I can't get that line would be so good in a book or a sitcom. And that's what I'm looking for all the time because I can't get out there too much. I do have inspiration from my own life and the complications and things that happen to my children or whatever. But yeah, I'm more of a observer than a liver in the world at the minute. So yeah, great example. What a good example that is.
So Bella, if
Great
you
show.
don't, sorry to like completely rewind you to something stupid, but if you don't cook, how do you eat? What do you just have a
Well,
lot of
so
takeaways
basically what
then?
happened is my kids are now 15 and 17, and I was almost a trad wife, I think, in a
Mm,
way, because I raised the kids at home. My husband traveled quite a bit. I've always been at writing and, but not earning too much because what writer does earn much? I mean, it would be 1%.
if that.
I am, yeah, right. So I am working in the public sector a lot more now and contributing financially, and it feels really great. But I've seen both sides. But you know what? My kids, like, if they're not going to set the table, if they're not going to stay for the whole meal, or occasionally like help with the dishes, I really feel like I'm enabling them to keep
Mm.
providing food. So I've banned cooking for them. I've quit. I'm on strike, whatever you want to call it. And they don't even like the food I make much anymore. So I'm kind of like, I don't know if I make like a lentil curry or a cauliflower soup or something to make, they do not want it. And we're at a juxtaposition where I'm trying to eat more healthily, and my appetite's not as big and, whatever, as I get older. They just do not want that. My son also has a lot of online businesses. He's 17, so he just ordered, like, I'll make food and he'll come out and look at it and be like, nah, I'm ordering from Kentucky Fried Chicken, and
Mm.
just walk away. So it's a bit of a battlefield, but we'll get there.
I love it. I
Really?
love it.
I'm
Yeah,
on strike.
my children are too young for me to do that. Yeah, but the only problem is this is what I do.
Yes,
So I'm not a very good cook. I don't like cooking. I will just
yes,
go for the simple options, simple meals, quick and the same things. Like I'm not I'm
yeah.
not very varied. Spaghetti bolognese again? Yes, it is. Yes, because I know how to make it. Jacket potatoes again? Yes, because I know how to make it.
I know.
Yeah, okay. But what I did do, I often say to my husband, like, just you like food, you care about food. If he makes something, he will ask, how was it? Did you like that? I tried this. I'm like, I don't care about food. Like, I will eat to fuel my body, and that is it. So if you want to do it, you do it. But it backfired a bit because of obviously his schedule and things like that. He discovered the slow cooker. and shoving everything in and boiling it for many hours or whatever it is, and producing something. And the other day he almost killed me because we'd had one a couple of days before or whatever, and it was beef, and then a couple of days later apparently it was lamb, but I couldn't taste any difference. Just that they all taste the same. And he thinks I'm an absolute heathen with terrible taste buds because I'm just always like,
Hilarious.
yeah, they taste the same. They all taste.
Well, there's only so many ingredients for these things, It's
Oh.
like, to me, it's like peppers, onions, and what else? It's like,
Potatoes. He puts a lot of potatoes in
and
there.
carrots, and there's only so many different
Yeah.
vegetables and stuff that you can put in these things, regardless,
I mean, I'm not complaining. It's definitely a healthier dish. It's definitely, looking after me. He's my trad hub. He's
Yeah,
taking care with his good
I love
with his good old slow cooker. I'm not complaining. But yeah, I mean, if I could boycott almost everything involved with the cooking as well, the shopping as well. I don't like buying the food. I don't like preparing the food. I don't mind eating the food. I prefer someone else to do it for me. I mean, we probably can get AI to do that, but there's still an element of you've got to do some of it. But I would like kind of somebody to come along and go, right, this is your body's needs, this is the amount of protein and fiber and all of those things that
meal
you need.
prep you for the week,
and and do the meal prep, cook the meals, look after everyone's kind of needs as well, make sure it's freshly cooked and good for the children and all of that. I want a trad wife, don't I?
you want a
That's what
trad
I want.
wife.
That's what they do. Yeah. And I
Well,
just
I'm
can't
surprised,
live up to it. I can't do it.
well, it sounds like, with the Ozempic and things like that, I suspect it'll become more and more common, and most people won't be eating that much in the future. I mean, food is so pleasurable for most. It's like hedonistic, it's sensual. We can really be human and enjoy ourselves. But I think for a lot of women, it is so bound in, you know, thankless, invisible toil, is it not?
Mm.
Um, that it can be a bit like tainted. But yeah, I think with Ozempic, from what I understand, it'll become cheaper, more commonplace, and it'll just people don't have very big appetite. So, I think there's jokes about the Academy Awards and things now where people that just want 6 raspberries for dinner. So maybe that'll be our future. We'll have 6 raspberries on our
I
dinner
can
plate.
make that. I could
Yeah,
do that
right.
if that's what they want.
I'm gonna
Be
let's
trad wife.
dribble
I could
some
be a
dark
trad wife
chocolate
for
on
all the
it.
people who run their weight loss drugs because I could just make them not a lot. There you go. There you go. Here's your raspberries. I sprinkled a little bit of icing sugar on top for you.
No, that's what you've done.
Colostrum.
Yeah, yeah. Actually, why am I putting icing sugar? It has to be probably. It's got to be one of the. Yeah. It's got to be one of those things, isn't it? You're absolutely right. I sprinkled some fiber. I sprinkled all these other
Protein
things
powder.
on top.
I was actually
Protein.
I was thinking of collagen, but I said
That's
colostrum.
the one. Yeah.
Yes, I'm not letting Bella do my meals for me.
Yeah, don't let us two cook for you.
No.
I think it's kind of going back to Nikki's thing as well, like you were saying about food, Bella. It's almost this key nurture thing, isn't it? Like food is one of our most concrete ways to give nurture to another person. It feeds into that wanting to be able to provide and look after somebody, that love language of providing for somebody, and it is nurturing. And there's a huge sensory aspect to food as well. You're drawn to things when your nervous system is all over the place and you want certain things that are going to help your body to reorganize itself and help you to regulate yourself a bit as well.
And we
It's a
associate food with
powerful
like
thing.
treats and stuff, don't we, as well? So it's like,
Mhm.
you've had a bad day, have some chocolate. You've had a good day, celebrate with some chocolate, and it's it's
That's
really
my
hard.
attitude.
I know.
Yeah.
But I tell you what, I
Yeah.
learned un strangely on social media, but I did learn a really good trick about that. So a lot of the eating we do is emotional eating. So, you're cold, so you want something hot, and the best way to tell whether you're emotionally eating or actually genuinely hungry is you pose the question to yourself, would I eat an apple right now? And
What
Never.
a
I've been
good
doing that, and
never. No.
yeah,
Never.
yeah.
No, I don't
And
apple.
if you wouldn't
No.
eat an apple, then it's emotional hunger and you're actually just hungry for the
Mhm.
chocolate or hungry for whatever. But if you
And it's
think to yourself, actually, yeah, I would eat an apple right now, then you're probably just actually genuinely hungry.
And it's the same with like social media too, because we're hungry for that. It's like it's another appetite, and sort of, it's eating without tasting. It's just
Mm.
filling the void. Usually, I think, I'm bored, I'm tired, I'm lonely, I'm sexually frustrated,
Well,
whatever it
it's
may
it's little dopamine hits, isn't it?
be. Mhm.
Rather than getting it yourself. Let's just scroll through reels for the next 20 minutes.
My
Mine's
daughter, who's
going to be. Oh,
15.
sorry.
Oh,
Hmm.
yeah, I was just gonna say my daughter who's 15 and babysits, she's looking after really little kids, like 2-year-olds, 3-year-olds, 4-year-olds. They're all on screens
Mm.
ubiquitously. Like I think parenting now would be so difficult because there's an inbuilt babysitter there, and the tiny little brains are getting so addicted, as we're all aware of. But I didn't quite realize the extent of it from her stories. Like there's just no rules. She comes over to babysit and the tablet's there the entire time. And at bedtime, it can go into the bed, and it's just the new way.
Well, let's hope it
Mm.
flips into a Kindle at some point and they can read your book, Bella.
Oh, hope, let's hope, yes.
That was so smooth.
I know, I'm
Yes,
good
that's
on
That was
it.
the
bad.
best
Here,
ever you've
I'll take
done.
The
that.
trad wife support you've got going
Yeah.
on. That's what happened. So on that note, we're going to have to let Bella go to get
Oh.
back to her
I like
family
these
to
naps with you guys. I could stay here, and
we have
Or
I'm
come
so
back
hungry.
again.
yeah, come
Yes.
back again and let's talk serial killers. It's our
All
favorite
right.
subject. Because
Okay.
you were on our 31 days of Halloween, weren't you, talking about serial killers?
Yes. Yes, that was fun. And are you gonna do that Halloween, something for Halloween next year, do you think, Nikki?
This year, I don't
Oh,
know. It was quite a
no.
lot of work.
I bet it was. Oh my gosh, all the editing,
Chasing
eh?
everyone down because authors are still they're not good with deadlines, strangely.
No.
Having to chase everyone and try and sort it all out. So maybe, maybe not. I don't know. It depends what sort of timing I've got. But yeah, we'll see how it goes. But
My
yeah,
takeaways would be like, do I want an Apple right now? No. And where are all the trad hubs?
yeah.
That's what my takeaway from this.
Yeah. Yeah. I want a trad hub. Thanks.
Yeah, trad hub.
Well, there's the
Mine's
new
going to be, would you
website.
eat a slow cooker meal right now?
Yeah,
And if the answer's no, then you're not hungry
you're not that hungry.
just emotional eating. Forget the apple. Do you want another? Do you want another meal that tastes
Not
exactly
a
like the
lamb
last?
hot pot.
No, no.
Tastes
It,
like
it was
brown.
that I confused the meats. That's what it was. He kept going to me, but that one was. It was completely different meat. Why did it not
Yeah,
taste any
but lamb
different?
is quite strong compared to beef. I'm not sure how
I
you got
think
them
it's
confused.
me. I think I've got. I think just there's no taste buds there. They're just short. There's nothing
That's
going
too
on in
many nugs,
there.
that is. That's
Yeah,
too many. That
too many. I've eaten too
you've
many
had
nuggets.
nug
Now
fever.
I've lost any sense of
Yeah.
flavour. It
Okay,
is. It's a heathen.
so listeners and viewers, thank you for joining us, and thank you, Bella, for staying down the rabbit hole with us. And you've dropped us some links, so anyone interested can find your book and pre-order.
Fabulous. Thank you. Thank you.
That's okay. And remember to follow the Red Rabbit on social media. Do leave us some comments because it always helps and makes us feel good and supported. Be the trad audience for
Be
us.
nice.
Be
Yeah.
true.
Yeah. They might say mean things.
They're not going to say mean things. We have lovely, lovely fans down the Red
Lovely
Rabbit Hole.
followers.
We
Yes.
do. We do. So
And if
thank
you
you
want to
again.
see if my elderly cat's still chugging along, follow us on TikTok,
And
Instagram, and Facebook at the Red
Purina, if you
Rabbit
would
Pod.
like to sponsor Lisa's very elderly cat and do the roulette of is it dead? Is it not dead? That's,
Well, she's not dead. She's been on Purina.
yeah, she's outlasted everyone. Then by all means get in touch and we'll sort that out for you. Other cat foods are available, I'm
Is
presuming.
my elderly cat still alive in nuclear fallout? Yes, she is.
Yes, she is.
And so's
She's-
Lisa, because she's
She's
eaten a lot
grown
of
another set of
preserved
legs.
food.
Yeah.
Yeah. She's brought about a whole new community of trad cats. They're just trad cat life would be sleep and eat, wouldn't it? That's it. This is traditional cat life. We sleep, we eat, and you serve us. Done.
Well, we'll see how she gets on. So thank you guys. We'll see you later. Thanks, Bella.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you. Bye.
Bye.